Hello and welcome to the first ever Weekly Difference, and today I am in the Amusement Parks category, which I will explain later on in this episode on how the whole category thing works. And Cedar Point is the first thing. Cedar Point Review in Sandusky, Ohio, roller coaster capital of the world, as it is called. It has numerous roller coasters and a ton of thrill rides. So for anyone who really likes amusement parks, this is your place to go. So starting off with the review, just to explain how everything, the format of it works, I'm going to be rating each ride on a scale from 1 to 10 just to show you how my opinion of it is, and just saying what I experienced while going on the ride in reality, and also some other statistics and whatever I really want to say about the ride and other important information about it. And yeah, so that'll give you an overall wraparound of about each ride, and then you will have a general idea of each ride, and at the end, the whole amusement park itself is my goal. So, here goes Cedar Point review. I'm going to start off in the roller coasters. With the roller coasters, there's about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's about 13 roller coasters that I decided to rate. Some are some are a lot unthrilling compared to my needs or whatever, so I decided not to rate them. But anyway, the first roller coaster is a wooden roller coaster, and this roller coaster is called the Blue Streak. The Blue Streak at Cedar Point, I rated it a rating of 6. I thought the Blue Streak was an okay ride, you know, for someone a lot younger and you're looking for thrills. I think this would be the perfect ride to go on. But if you're very old, I mean, there's a lot of other wooden roller coaster potential candidates for you to ride instead of Blue Streak, since Blue Streak is very old and not that fun. But overall, it's a pretty fun ride, so I don't want to downplay it too much. But anyway, overall, it's a pretty fun ride, I guess. And next, I'm going to move on to Corkscrew. I'm going to rate this a 7. Corkscrew is just a traditional loop-de-loop roller coaster. It actually, what's unique about it is it actually twirls over the whole guest area. So when you're walking from one ride to the next, you know, the whole pathway thing. One of the loops actually comes very close to the guests themselves, so it's a really unique ride for that aspect of it. But also, it's also a very fun ride. But again, or not again, for the first time actually, I'm mentioning this. A lot of these rides have very identical rides like them at other amusement parks. Corkscrew, there's pretty much one of these at every single park that I've ever been to, unless it's like a very unpopular amusement park, sort of just for children and younger people. But the traditional loop-de-loop coaster is at pretty much every amusement park that I've been to, so I'm not going to give it too much of a high score, so I just give it a 7. Putting into play that it is identical to basically every roller coaster, or not every roller coaster, it's basically identical to a roller coaster, a kind of roller coaster that is basically at every park. But not to downplay it, because a lot of loop-de-loop coasters, you have a ton of fun on them, but thrill-wise, it's not amazing, so I just decided to give it a 7. I thought the median of that score was a great potential fit for this ride. Moving on to Gatekeeper, it is a new ride to Cedar Point. This is a very, very fun ride. I give this ride a 9, a potential 8, but I thought that it's really thrilling, so I gave it a 9. It does have like this really cool, like, it has this like cool like sheet. No, it's like a giant like a giant, like, I don't know, it's like just like a giant block, and there's like a hole through it, and you go through it, so it's really cool. But another really cool thing is you're actually sitting off of the track, so the car is actually in the track, and then the car seats where people sit are on the sides of the track, so you're actually not technically on the track. But that's one of the many cool things of Gatekeeper. Anyway, Gatekeeper, very new ride. I've been on it, awesome ride. I would definitely recommend going on it. It is a great ride. So I give it a 9 for that reason, and very thrilling, as I said before. Great drop, too. I think the drop is about, I'm not sure, actually. But It's a great ride, and it's very new, so if you haven't been there in a while and you go there next, definitely go on it. But the height is 170 feet. I just had to look that up because I didn't remember the statistic exactly. I didn't want to give you wrong information, but yeah, it's about 170 feet, the drop. So moving on to Gemini, I gave this a 7. This is a wooden roller coaster where actually it's very unique. 2 cars actually go, there's 2 tracks actually in reality, and the 2 cars actually race against each other, sort of. And they compete to go to the end. But anyway, there's a ton of like mini hills and stuff, and it's just a really entertaining ride. And the thrill isn't amazing, but the entertaining part is really, really cool. So for that reason, I had to boost my score up to a 7, resting at a 7, because I think that a 7 is a really good rate for this ride. But the ride itself is very, very fun, and I do recommend going on it, especially if you're with like little kids, because the whole anticipation of racing another cart is very, very cool and very unique. You don't see that at a lot of amusement parks nowadays. Next is the Iron Dragon. I was actually debating to even put this on my review because I thought that, you know, it's a very slow ride, but it is a roller coaster, and most people do go on it when they go to it. It's one of the common roller coasters there, so I definitely had to rate it and review it for you. By Iron Dragon, you're hanging off of the track in a car, but it's really, really slow, and I don't think it's that fun. So I gave it personally a 5, and I think that is a little low. But honestly, when I went on it, I wasn't entertained greatly. I thought it was actually very boring, and especially if you're a thrill seeker going to these amusement parks in mind that you really want to get some thrills, Iron Dragon is pretty much just a waste of time. But most people don't go there for that. Most people go there for the entertaining portion, which a thrill obviously is, but entertaining wise, it's okay. So okay, rests at a 5, I guess. So I give a 5 for Iron Dragon, since it's really not the best ride there, and I don't recommend going on it if you don't have time or you want to get a lot of rides in. Next is the Mantis. The Mantis is very unique. You're actually standing up while going on this ride. I gave this ride an overall rate of 8 because I believe that it is very unique. The entertaining portion of it is amazing, and it's really thrilling. You're actually, I mean, it's really weird, and it kind of pushes you outside of your comfort zone to be standing up on a ride. So I think that is one of the greatest aspects of the ride as an overall piece. But the ride is also very cool because you go upside down while standing, and the G-force is actually incredible while you go upside down. It's really, really cool. And then as you just go throughout the whole ride, it's just awesome standing up and experiencing the normal thrills of a roller coaster, plus standing up. It like adds like 100 whatever thrills are measured in, whatever unit. I don't think there's a unit, but whatever. It's really cool. So I gave Mantis an overall rate of 8, and I really do recommend going on that, especially if you have not gone on it before, and if you really want to stand up on a roller coaster and see what it's like. It's a great experience, and I definitely do not recommend missing it. Next is the Maverick, another awesome ride, one of my actually all-time favorites of all time, and at Cedar Point. Maverick. I gave Maverick an overall rate of 9 because I think it really has a potential to be 10, but when you compare the 10s that I'm going to discuss later on, it really doesn't compare as much. So I gave Maverick a 9. I think it's a really, really cool ride. The hill is awesome. You're actually pulled up the hill very fast, and then you're pulled down the hill like really fast too. So I think it's like the angle of the drop actually goes like in, and you're like pulled down it, so it feels awesome, and it's really cool and really thrilling, and you get a giant stomach feeling. You know that stomach feeling when you go down a gigantic hill. But it is an awesome ride, very unique, really fast. You sort of go upside down, not really, but there's awesome twists and turns. You actually stop in a tunnel and then speed up at full speed. So it's just really an awesome ride to go on, and really thrilling and very unique. So I gave it a 9 for that reason. Next is another wooden roller coaster called the Mean Streak. This is actually the final wooden roller coaster at Cedar Point that I'm going to rate. I gave Mean Streak an 8. I was debating on going for a 9 because it does hold a few records on the board, but it's not amazing, so I would not. I don't think it's a 9 at all. Yeah, with a duration of 3 minutes and 13 seconds, Mean Streak had the longest ride time of any roller coaster in the park until 2000 when it lost. to another ride, but it did hold the longest one. But it's a really cool ride. The hill is pretty big. The hill is about 161 feet, and the speed is 65 miles per hour. So that's very big for a wooden roller coaster. So I definitely recommend going on that. And wooden roller coasters are always super fun, especially the big ones with the big hills and the awesome twists and turns. And yeah, it's rickety, but I mean, if you can handle it, it's awesome and very fun to go on. So that's the Mean Streak. I gave that 8. So yeah, next is an awesome ride that a lot of people go to Cedar Point just to ride, not just to ride, because there's many amazing rides, but this is my top. This is in my top 2, number 2. It's my favorite, my second favorite rather. I gave this a 10. Millennium Force. Millennium Force is amazing. It has an overall drop of about 310 feet. The speed reaches up to 93 miles per hour. It's just an awesome ride. Pretty unique too. I don't see much like it anywhere else, but it's just an awesome ride that I really recommend on Do Not Missing. Even if you're scared of going on it, it's an awesome ride. And if you miss it, it really does suck. And if you do miss it, it really does suck, because it's an awesome ride. Very fun. One of my favorite rides of all time. So that's Millennium Force. I gave that a 10 because I think it's one of the best rides ever. Next tops it actually. It's Throw Dragster. This is the second largest roller coaster in the world. Its height reaches up to 427 feet. Imagine that, 427 feet. I have a video going and you can pretty much see it, but I mean, how intimidating is that when you're in line for that? I mean, my heart was beating so fast the first time that I actually was going on this. Obviously, I gave it a 10 if I didn't mention that earlier. I can't really remember, but Throw Dragster is just an awesome ride that you don't really get anywhere else except for Six Flags Great Adventure, which actually has the ride that's actually a tad bigger, and it's actually the biggest roller coaster in the world. But anyway, it's just an awesome ride. Honestly, I liked this better than Kingda Ka at Six Flags Great Adventure, which is taller than it, which is the tallest roller coaster in the world. I don't know, just the whole feel of it, the whole color, the whole feel, and Cedar Point just kind of made it better. So I think that's why I thought that the top Throw Dragster was just more appealing and more thrilling and just way more cool than Kingda Ka. But I gave Throw Dragster a 10, obviously, because it's one of the best rides ever. I actually have a t-shirt of it, and it's awesome. It goes from 0 to about 120 miles per hour, I believe, in like 4 seconds. And if you can even imagine that, then you'll know how crazy it is. So it's just an awesome ride. The whole lift, the whole takeoff is just sick. Everything about it it's just amazing ride. And if you don't go on it, even if you're scared, just go on it. It's honestly so cool of a ride. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. I mean, I don't know how else to express it. Just go on it and you'll see. You can even see it in this video how cool it is. Moving on. Sorry, I just get really affectionate, passionate when I see awesome rides. Next is Raptor. This is a very common ride at most theme parks. I gave this an 8 because it is very fun. You're hanging from the track, not literally, that'd probably be a bad thing, but in the car is hanging from the track and you go upside down. It's just a great ride, and it's very fun. So if you have enough time, go on it. But if you're trying to get on a lot of rides in one day, then I'd understand not going on it personally. But I don't even think I went on it like last time I went. The first time I did, because you know, the first time I went for 2 days, and you really have to try each ride out, see what it's like, you know, get the whole feel for it. But if you don't go on it, I could definitely understand, and I guess that says something right there. But anyway, the whole thing itself, I gave an 8 because it is a very fun ride, even though it's pretty common at most theme parks. And the final roller coaster at Cedar Point is a very unique ride that I've never seen anywhere else, not one other place that I know of at least. But it's so cool, especially that you're by the lake, and it's just an awesome ride. It's called the Wicked Twister. I gave it an 8 because it's really fun, and the whole thing itself is just awesome. You actually start like at nothing, and then you really speed up, and then you go like, you go up like the twisting thing, and then you come back down. It's awesome. So I definitely recommend going on that, especially if you haven't been on it before. It's an awesome ride, awesome experience, especially by the lake, since it is right by the lake. That would suck to miss it, but yeah, it's just an awesome ride, Wicked Twister. I don't know, I keep saying awesome because these rides are pretty sick. They're just like the best rides ever. That's why Cedar Point was called Roller Coaster Capital of the World, because all these rides are just so fun. It actually looks like you're going to go off the track on Wicked Twister, which is another thing that really adds to its thrill amount. So definitely go on that. Give it an 8. That's it for roller coasters. There are 4 rides left that I decided to do. They're just regular rides. The first one is Max Air. This is very fun. I gave it a 7, a rating of 7. It's very fun. But I mean, it's not super thrilling, but it's pretty cool. You twist on the car, or on the giant pendulum thing, while you almost go upside down. I don't think you fully go upside down, but like you pretty much go upside down. And it's just really cool, especially because you're spinning. So I'd go on that. That's Max Air. Power Tower, you pretty much see this at every amusement park. It's just like Tower of Terror or Sky Screamer at Marineland, whatever you want to compare it to. I give it a 9 because honestly the thrill is just amazing, even though you see it everywhere. You get a humongous stomach feeling, and it like really tickles. So kind of weird word to describe it, tickling, but yeah. It's a very, very fun ride. So I recommend going on it. It's very tall. It's like as tall as Top Throw Dragster. It's just awesome. And that's Power Tower. Give it a 9. Skyhawk. This is a very fun ride. I gave this a 7 since it's not like amazing, but it's really fun, especially because you swing and stuff. It's just really cool to go on. You get really thrilled. If that's a word. Charged, I guess. From going on this, you get like a natural high, I guess you could say. It's really cool. I'd suggest going on it. Yeah, so the final ride, this is at most parks owned by I think it's called Cedar Fair or something, but there's a lot. I think the other parks are like Cedar Point, Kings Island, Kings Dominion. Those are all owned by the same company. Also Cedar Point, obviously, and then there's a couple other that I can't really remember, but they all have this some similar rides since they're owned by the same owners. But that's a lot of S's in that sentence. Same as that. All right, alliteration. Alliteration is awesome. All right, so Windseeker, I gave that an 8 because you go really high and it's awesome. Even though most swings are not that great, these are really cool since you go really high, and especially at night, really go on it, and you really want to go on it at night. There's so many lights on during the park, and the Windseeker itself actually has awesome lights on at night, but the whole thing at night is just awesome. So I definitely recommend going on it at night, but I gave it an overall rating of 8 because I think it's just really cool. Even though most swings are kind of boring, these are really fun, so definitely go on those. Okay, now it's time for me to actually give a rating from 1 to 10. I can do decimals on this. For the ones I didn't really, for like each individual ride, I didn't really want to get that precise because I thought it'd take too long to explain my reasoning and whatnot, but it's kind of too precise for a ride to do decimals. But I'm just going to the 10th place. I'm not obviously going like it's a 9.6543. Wow, I pretty much gave away what my rating is. So my rating of Cedar Point as a whole is 9.6. It's an awesome park. You're really not going to see anything like it with all these opportunities and all these cool experiences that you can go on, all these differentials, all these diverse rides, all these thrill opportunities that just really get you when you get there. And honestly, I've just never seen a park like it. That's why they call it the roller coaster capital of the world, and it's been rated one of the best amusement parks in the world many years. I'm not really sure what awards those are, but yeah, so you get the picture. It's an awesome park to go to, especially if you're really into the whole thrilling ride thing. But if you're not, honestly, it's really not that great of a park. I mean, yeah, they do really have an awesome kids area, but honestly, if you don't go on all these rides, you're really missing out a ton. So just really try to get over your fears, and it'll really pay off in the end. So I gave this park a 9.6. That's Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. And now I'm just going to explain my whole channel. This might take a couple minutes, so if you really don't want to listen to it, you don't have to. But I'm just trying to explain what this whole thing is. Weekly Difference is basically just saying weekly I'm going to be doing a different category, because, you know, I've tried so many YouTubes over the past couple of years. I've been doing movie reviews. I've been doing, like, music charts. I've been doing, like, amusement park stuff. I've been doing sports stuff, all of this different video games, all this different stuff that just I keep like sort of getting sick of, and then like moving on to the next one. But I keep closing the accounts and stuff. Like, you know how you get sick of something that like it's just awesome like to start a YouTube and then just like keep doing it. But honestly, when I keep doing one type of YouTube, it kind of just gets kind of repetitive for me. So I decided to come up with this thing called Weekly Difference, where each week I have difference weekly. So it's kind of a confusing name, and it's Diffferents, not Diffference. I know that's probably gonna get really confusing as my channel gets more popular. I'm not saying it will, I'm just hoping it will, obviously, but as it does gain a little bit of more people that view it and stuff, it's gonna get pretty confusing. Weekly Difference, but I just want you to remember it's Weekly Differents. So Differents. So yeah, that's just explaining the whole thing. In the future, I'm gonna be coming up with awesome new categories where I'm gonna be reviewing stuff. I'll probably do top 10s, like lists. I can do POVs that has to do with rides, like highlights for sports. I don't know, anything. So stay tuned for that. And one more thing, like if I choose, I can also, if I'm really into one of the topics, I can do it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even a month. But anywhere past a month, I usually get sick of it and move on to the next category until I get sick of that and eventually move back to the category. So not that once I'm done with the category, I will never move back to it. I definitely will. Say I do like amusement parks this week, and next week I do video games, the next week I do sports, the next week I do, I don't know, movies, and then I go back to amusement parks, because, you know, after a while it gets really interesting to do it again. So that's just my whole philosophy on this whole channel. So there's my overview of my channel. Hope you like it. I really hope you liked this video. If you did, please do me a favor and like below. I'd really appreciate that. And also rate. If you didn't like it, you can obviously dislike it, but comment below. Tell me what you think. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me what I'm doing well, and other things, what you think of anything, really. Just comment. Tell me what you think. Give me some feedback. And finally, please subscribe. I'm a really new channel, and I really need subscribers. Honestly, a YouTube channel isn't anything without subscribers, so if you can do me a favor and you like me, just subscribe below, and if you don't, just be nice. Alright, so, yeah, like this video, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time, where I'm going to be doing a review on Six Flags Magic Mountain in California. So stay tuned for that. I hope you like this video, and I'll see you guys next time.